Title of this presentation is Weekly Sentiment Indicator, taking a look at the 5-day moving average of the so-called S-factor score, S-score, in textual analysis and predicting spot forex euro daily returns. So from the previous research, we see that textual tweet analysis adds value to an option sentiment indicator. And so essentially we have the weekly news predicting stock returns up to 13 weeks post news events. So that news versus sentiment title has shown that there's a strong correlation in between the weekly news and the prediction of stock returns up to 13 weeks past that. I take a look at a data set from March 2014 up until May 2016 on social market analytics SMA tweet analysis data. So I coupled the textual analysis, the so-called S-factor scores, in this case the raw score, and I overlaid it onto the proprietary option sentiment indicator, showing that they increase the correlation and the predictability, and the 5-day moving average of the so-called S-score is able to predict the daily returns on the euro spot forex. So there's a confident 95% confidence that there is positive correlation in the predictor variable of the textual analysis score, the S-factor score, and the daily return. So it's important to keep in mind to note that what we're looking at is essentially daily returns and not long-term returns. We're not looking at 13-week returns. We're looking at daily returns of the spot euro. And so the data analyzed here was from the euro currency shares from the euro ETF. So here's the overall P&L picture from March 2014 up until May 2016. So there's a positive uptick. There isn't hardly very many drawdowns. There's hardly any drawdowns. And so we see a good predictability by the 5-day moving average of the raw score. So in essence, we're looking at the sentiment of the moving average of the daily sentiment of the raw score, and not looking at the weekly, but we're essentially keeping the moving average of the 5-day raw score. So it's a rolling average. So it showed that essentially the textual analysis, the sentiment analysis, is a good predictor of daily returns. And so here's the plot chart. Here's the plot chart of the 5-day raw score predicting the daily returns. So nothing too extraordinary here other than there being a positive correlation, and there is a upward slope, slightly upward slope on that is verifiable at the 95% confidence level. So we can say with 95% confidence that yes, 5-day raw scores are successful in predicting the daily returns of the euro spot forex. So in summary, the weekly research on sentiment analysis is able to predict stock returns, but it's also able to predict the daily euro returns. And so that's what my research is about. The reason for the research is that there is a lot of negative news, a lot of weekly news that has been piling up, and so it's relevant in the fact that the news does tend to become a lot more concentrated, and so the weekly news is able to still distill your analysis and focus on daily returns, and so it does help. The rolling average, in this case, the 5-day rolling average, will give you a better insight as to the sentiment, and is a good predictor of daily returns. So this research title that was based that this presentation and preliminary research was based on was News versus Sentiment, Predicting Stock Returns from News Stories. So the research authors had found that news has a profound correlation with stock returns up to 13 weeks post-news. So that's a little bit different. And they analyzed data from Thomson Reuters Newscope, which is a different focus. I'm focused more on social market analytics, which is SMA's raw score data. And so we do find that the weekly rolling averages do add value to our predictor variable in predicting daily returns on the spot forex of the euro. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you do have any research suggestions or comments or feedback, please do let me know, and I'll be happy to answer and field any questions that you may have.